We have breaking news. Kevin Hawk is a fucking liar.
No, yeah.
But I'm more disappointed with the fact that you're blocking Paige with Roman Reigns right now.
What?
Get that shit off your head.
Oh, yeah. Hadouken!
I don't want him. That's better. Welcome to the midweek wrap-up. We've got a very quick NXT to talk about. It was, this was the most literal changing of the guard NXT we've had.
Yeah. This is like...
Lots of new people.
New stuff? Let's do it.
Yeah. First, we had the Doctor with Joe and with William Regal. The Doctor telling William Regal that Joe has more damage done to him as opposed to just the dislocated jaw that's been the rumor going around, and that he cannot clear him for competition for at least the foreseeable future. So there's,
Poor Joe.
Regal understands, and Joe just kind of storms off. He's just really pissed off. So we'll see where that goes. Our opening match was Ty Dillinger versus Buddy Murphy.
Hell yeah, this should have been the main.
Yeah, honestly, they probably could have switched this whole NXT around, and it probably would have made more sense. But we don't write NXT.
We don't write anything for WWE.
No, we should. We could. WWE, hire us. But anyway, Ty Dillinger versus Buddy Murphy, two standouts from the original explosion of NXT.
Yeah, Buddy Murphy, the good half of his team. Ty Dillinger was obviously the better half of his team because he was the one that didn't go on to mediocrity. He got to become a perfect 10.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call American Alpha mediocrity. Jason Jordan's on SmackDown right now.
Okay, so when they try to do singles things.
Okay. Singles mediocrity, yes, because Jason Jordan wasn't there for very long before he blew it with American Alpha. But Ty Dillinger, obviously a absolute favorite in NXT. I hope this is, with the match he had last week and this match against Buddy Murphy, I hope this is his push. I hope this is his TV, like, let's start pushing this guy like crazy because he deserves so much more TV time than he gets.
Yeah.
And him and Buddy Murphy killing it as per usual. Both of them pulling out everything we've come to enjoy about them. Buddy Murphy with a really good set of double knees onto Ty Dillinger. But Ty Dillinger,
hey Andrade, check this out.
But Ty Dillinger coming back, and if it was even at one point, it wasn't because Ty's got the tiebreaker, and Ty Dillinger beats Buddy Murphy. Then we had Tommaso Ciampa being interviewed about what the condition of Johnny Gargano is after NXT TakeOver and after the Cruiserweight Classic, where he was eliminated by T.J. Perkins. And so, Ciampa's like, hey, don't count out Johnny Gargano. He's all heart. He's gone through some battles. Yeah.
And then the Revival come in and they're like, hey, guess what? We're going to be dicks.
Yeah, we're big, giant dicks. And Ciampa's like, and then elbows the shit out of Dash. And then it's a 2-on-1 beatdown. They go busting through a door.
And they're like, where's this go? Live crowd.
Yeah, no, that was so good.
Right next to the commentator table.
So the Ciampa gets tossed up onto the commentator's table, gets tossed over the barricade, into the ring. They're just kicking the shit out of him. The referees are trying to stop it. And eventually the Revival get on the microphones and get to do their top guy promo. Where they just
do top guy stuff.
They run down every other tag team. They talk about how Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, they were spectacular, but they're not the NXT Tag Team Champions.
Hey, Revival, what you doing? Top guy stuff.
And then Ciampa decides to really stick it to them, like, oh, you think you can keep me down? Well, here I am, as he's like the referees are trying to help him, get him to the back, and he's shoving them off, and he gets back into the ring, and
he's like army crawling like a motherfucker.
Yeah, no, and the crowd's chanting "Psycho Killer," and he's got that just deranged look on his face.
And then he gets the shatter machine.
Yeah, I think he got nutted too because he was he had a hand between his legs. He was not. I think he got pinched or something. But it was a nasty. It was like the most on point shatter machine. Probably because they didn't have to do it in the midst of a match where they were like super tired.
Or like out of a funky position.
Yeah, that too.
Like,
so
that was like straight out.
yeah, Ciampa gets taken out. The Revival looking like big old tag team title wearing douchebags.
Tag team testicles.
Sure. Then we start getting some of the new talent coming in as we have Steve Cutler taking on Kenneth Crawford. Kenneth Crawford I actually just saw a couple days ago. It was yesterday. They were doing like live, like Facebook Live stuff from the Performance Center. They were doing a bunch of heavy weightlifting and stuff from all the really big and strong guys from NXT. It was cool to watch some of that stuff. And like this was seemingly to be Steve Cutler's kind of breakout moment.
Yeah, it's Steve's moment. Here we go, big. He's a new guy, not really new, but newer to being his own character.
Yeah, we've seen him a few times. He got himself a promo.
He's big. He's pretty buff, and angry, I guess.
He cut a very cookie cutter heel promo.
Yeah.
Where
he's aggressive.
Doesn't matter if you like me, I don't care if you hate me, but you're gonna respect me because I'm Steve Cutler.
I think he's gonna pull in a little bit of the whole like I served 2 tours overseas.
I think that'd be good.
Sort of thing.
Yeah, I think if people show disrespect, I think he should pull the disgruntled serviceman card. I think that would be a good heel.
Not to be confused with the disgruntled stripping milkman card, because
that's a whole different thing. Go check out the SmackDown rundown for that one. But
Kenneth Crawford almost stole the show.
Yeah, no shit. This guy was like the most generic theme song. Didn't even
both of these guys. Let's face it. These guys seemed like what you would get if you went to the Creator Wrestler Suite and you just did like what do they call the ones that they have? It's just like the pre-made guys.
The generic.
Yeah, it's like pre-made A and pre-made B, and you just like selected them.
The difference is we've heard Steve Cutler's music before. He got a Titantron. Nothing changed for Kenneth Crawford. He barely got a spotlight. So this guy comes down. Obviously, you go in thinking, okay, he's just being fed to Cutler. This is going to be Cutler's big moment. But yeah, Kenneth Crawford apparently is agile as all fuck and can throw standing shooting star presses.
Yeah. Why the hell not?
Okay. And yeah, so I mean, he had a good flurry of offense. He got some good strikes in, but then Steve Cutler just didn't give a shit anymore, and it ended up hitting him with a fisherman driver, and Steve Cutler picked up the win.
Yeah, Crawford ran at him, and he stomped him out.
Yeah.
It's like this caveman stomp, but 1 foot.
1 foot, and it was just...
It reminded me of those times whenever Kane went against Val Venus.
Yeah, where
big Venus, Val Venus, and Val would grab onto Kane's foot and bring it down with him.
Yeah.
Just to make it look like he's a
extra cell
murderer.
We had Hideo address what happened between him and Austin Aries at TakeOver.
Basically calling Austin Aries a bitch.
Yeah, saying that if Austin Aries wants to come at him like that, he's going to put him to sleep again.
Yeah, and calling him a little bitch for not coming out to fight him on NXT this week because of a busted eardrum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I've been on the receiving end of like a damaged eardrum. It's no fun.
Yeah.
I'll be real.
Yeah, Austin Aries actually interrupting Andrade Cien Almas having a backstage interview, and he made it all about himself. So
yeah,
I'm sure we'll probably see Andrade versus Austin probably next week, and then that'll transition into more Hideo versus Austin Aries. We got another quick Sanity promo which seemed they had a few more bits of footage in there. We went through like the halls of like an asylum kind of place, and there was a lot more of the riotous kind of stuff going on. Nothing too over the top though. Still a little bit that kind of like breaks into the feed. We had No Way Jose versus Angelo Dawkins. Angelo Dawkins just trying to rip off every sports figure he possibly can. And it wasn't enough because he got the Fighting Fiesta all over his face as We had the wind-up punch and the half Nelson slam. And yeah, I said it. I said it. What are you going to do? Yeah, that's right. I said it. Big whoop. Want to fight about it?
No.
All right.
I want to get a fiesta in my face.
Well, just ask No Way Jose. He will
No,
be glad to do it.
No way I won't.
No Way Jose picking up the win. And then he'd actually have a backstage promo later where he's just talking about having fun and
starting to conga line.
Yeah, you know, he's back. You know, he's like, oh yeah, I lost Austin Aries. That's fine. It's, you know, you just got to move on. You got to keep going. And then apparently Bobby Roode likes his head.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like Bobby Roode was just standing in the back and going, you know what would make this promo glorious? And he just walks up and goes, nice head.
Yeah.
Walks away.
And Jose just stands there like, what do I say to that? Like, it was a compliment, but it wasn't a good compliment. It was
I just kind of wish he would have been like,
making sure it's still there? Oh, Jesus.
So, Bobby Roode, glorious and also slightly confusing.
I feel like his music just needs to play anytime. Like, if there's never been a character where it doesn't matter where they walk in, their music is played. But Bobby Roode needs that. Like, it could just be, because the beginning is so quiet, it's just that dun, 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 like that build. Like, someone could just kind of pretend like it's not happening. But then he turns the corner and it says glorious. The people know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
And then you just drop the music and have him say, nice head, and walk away. And then his music turns back on. The person has no fucking clue what's going on. Get on that shit, WWE, NXT, Triple H, make it happen. We had women's action as Liv Morgan took on Aaliyah. Not the prettiest of matches, but I like Aaliyah's new
theme song.
New theme song, new attitude, new gear. She looks more believable than the little
gypsy ballerina thing.
Gypsy princess thing that she was trying to do. That wasn't working.
Yeah, this might be combined like the smallest women's match possible.
These two ladies are very tiny. Like, when we were at...
I feel like maybe potentially the only person who could give either one of these girls a run for their money would be Sarah.
Yeah. I mean,
she was tiny.
Like,
I haven't seen her since she's been to the Performance Center, and I hear that she's actually bulking up a bit.
A little. She still looks fairly tiny from the pictures that I've seen. Like, you're not
the first ever WWE triple threat match that weighs into the combined less than 150 pounds.
Maybe. Because, we talked about when we were at WrestleMania last year, is that, we barely heard a match between Alexa Bliss and JoJo, I think?
No, it was Devin.
Oh, okay.
Back when Devin was still around.
It was like they barely made any noise, and we were, less than 50 feet away from the ring. We just couldn't see it.
Yeah.
So, and these two ladies, obviously, they were mic'd up because, you've got the cameras and stuff. But I feel like it was very much the same. Like, if you were at Full Sail, you probably barely heard the match because there wasn't a lot of noise coming out of this one. But Liv Morgan ends up hitting Aaliyah with her little spinning back kick, which didn't quite look like it connected. That's why I had a really quick jump cut. Good editing, whoever's editing NXT. And Liv Morgan picks up the win. We found out that Asuka will be returning to Full Sail next week after beating Bayley in their rematch. So we'll start to see who's going to be facing Asuka next. Probably Billie Kay.
Congratulations, Asuka. You won. Bayley gets moved up. I'm starting to realize, that's the thing. Yay, Shinsuke, you win your match. Sami Zayn, you're on the main roster permanently now. It makes sense in a way, but the other times I'm like, yeah, you win. Your reward is you get to stay on NXT. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe these are all secretly losers leave NXT matches.
Maybe. No, that honestly...
And it's a punishment.
That's what it is, because there's so many people that have said on multiple occasions that they don't necessarily want to leave NXT.
Finn
They
Balor.
don't. Yeah, they don't want to go to the main roster. If Finn Balor had stayed on NXT, he'd probably not be hurt right now. Just saying.
No, I mean, absolutely he would not be hurt because he wouldn't have taken that move from Finn. I mean, sad.
Finn wouldn't have taken that devastating powerbomb from Finn Balor.
Finn wouldn't have taken that elbow drop to the guardrail.
Yeah. So we'll see Asuka next week in an interview with Tom Phillips. And then we finished off the night with Shinsuke Nakamura celebrating the fact that he is the NXT champion. And pretty much just kind of like chronologizes his whole, like, I used to watch NXT, and then I wanted to fight better people, so I came to NXT, and I beat Sami Zayn, and I beat Finn Balor, and then I beat Samoa Joe, and now I'm the NXT champion.
Yep.
And that was about it.
This is the era of strong style.
Which is scary for some people.
Well, it's completely absolutely true with him being the NXT champion and Asuka being the women's champion of NXT.
Oh yeah, you don't have an option. You want to win a title? Hell, the Revival. The Revival will punch you in the face too. Doesn't matter what title you try and go for. You're
Tiny strong style Gaijin tag team.
Yeah, you are going to get punched in the fucking face if you want any type of championship in NXT.
Yeah.
So good luck, fucker. That's it for our NXT review.
It's true.
This is where you say thanks for watching. I was going to add a couple little things to talk about first.
Oh, okay.
Lucha Underground returns next week. So we'll be
Hey!
having something else added to the
I
midweek
keep
wrap-up.
forgetting, and then every time you mention it at the end of NXT, I get excited again.
So yeah, next week, Lucha Underground Season 3 begins. So we'll be adding that back to the midweek wrap-up. And then one quick news story, just because we're talking about WWE stuff. Alberto Del Rio is gone.
Is he really?
He opted out of his contract. That was the contract that he had, and he has decided to leave the company. So no more Alberto Del Rio. And I don't care. Doesn't bother me. Does it bother you? Post down in the comments if you really care that Alberto Del Rio is gone.
I'm a little disappointed.
I know you have your moments where you like Del Rio. I just don't care. He's like neither of his runs have made me really care. His indie run when we saw him on Lucha Underground and ROH, that made me care about Del Rio.
Yeah.
But never in WWE. He's just not. So, once again, that is it for our NXT review. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Click the links down in the description.
There's lots of them.
Social medias.
For days.
And podcasts.
For hours.
No, not even 4 hours. 4 podcasts a week, which are our regular reviews, that being Indie News, Raw Review, SmackDown Rundown, and Midweek Wrap-Up.
No, I'm just saying it would take more than 1 hour to listen to all the podcasts, probably.
More than 1 hour?
Yeah, like 4 hours, like for a plural
Oh,
hours.
F-O-R, not F-O-U-R.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yes.
Like for days, 4 hours.
More.
When you say somebody's got legs for days, that means they just have a lot of leg.
More. It's like 2 hours.
This is like a lot of podcasts.
It's a little over 2 hours. It's like listening to 2 regular podcasts. But anyway, for those of you that don't want to watch videos or don't get a chance to watch videos, or if you want to listen what happened to wrestling while you're on your way to work or school or whatever you're doing, check out the link down in the description. For those of you that are listening to the podcast, come over here to the YouTubes.
Watch our next video, which was the Cruiserweight Classic, because you don't get that in podcast form.
Exactly.
And then after that, I'm going to do a top 5, and you don't get that in podcast form either.
Exactly. And then
I am so fired up, I'm slapping my own leg.
And then while you're on the YouTubes, you should click the Reasonable Wrestling Fans link, because you don't get that stuff in podcast form either.
No.
You don't get unboxing videos.
No, because that would be hard to do.
Unboxing podcasts. That'd be stupid.
Dumb.
You don't get, well...
The other things would all work, probably.
Yeah.
But you don't get that.
Coming up next, you won't, or soon, not next. Coming up soon, you won't care about a podcast about me getting hit with a kendo stick. You want to see that.
Yeah.
And let's post down in the comments if you don't want to see it, because then we won't do it, because that'll be awesome. Anyway, thanks for watching.
If this gets 500 likes, I'm going to hit him more than once.
I'll let you hit me more than once if we get 500 likes.
That's an unrealistic goal, isn't it?
Very unrealistic.
Right.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Hey.